Good morning. Welcome back to Facebook Live with Al and Kathi. My name is Al.
And I'm Kathi.
And today we have a really special guest that we're going to introduce in just a little bit. Real excited to have this guest join us.
Absolutely, yeah.
So hopefully you're watching us live and see some really cool stuff today.
We have a lot to go over, so this is going to be a great segment of our Facebook Live. Absolutely.
So I see the camera workers are actually look like they were having technical difficulty, but I think it's okay. It's all been resolved.
It's all been resolved in our low budget here.
Yeah, absolutely. So how was your weekend?
Weekend was good.
So
yeah.
Today's already Wednesday.
It is already Wednesday.
Is it just me or does it feel like a Saturday? Like it should be a Saturday?
It kind of feels like a Saturday, yes, because we had a lot going on here at Above and Beyond these last couple days, and usually after events, we usually get a day off, but our last day fell on a Tuesday, so here we are on a Wednesday working. Thanks,
and
Ron.
It's amazing that we're fresh for this, but we're being helped along by our coffee, which
Yes.
is awesome. So,
And our Above and Beyond mugs.
well, they're not really
Sort
they're
of.
regular mugs with Above and Beyond
Yeah.
stickers on them.
We're going to maybe try to get some mugs into play, right?
So we've been asked by some people if we can offer these mugs for sale. So we're not sure yet. We're going to try to
work
figure
on
out
it.
how to do that. And maybe at some upcoming Facebook Live we'll actually have something to show you.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Great.
did I tell you my daughter's in California?
You did, so that's really cool. She decided to go by herself.
She went all by herself. She went to San Diego first, and she told us she had a great time. And now she's in LA,
Nice.
and she's going to be in LA for the next 5 or 6 days.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, to be young and have no well, I know she has responsibilities, but
Not really.
being able to travel when you're young like that is so awesome.
It's pretty cool,
Yeah.
and I'm so proud of her that she just kind of got on a plane by herself and went all alone,
That's
like
so
not
great.
without
Yeah.
her friends. And
That's great.
And we don't have any family there, so I can't even say go visit Aunt somebody.
But you know what? She's very outgoing. She's got a good head on her shoulders. She'll
Yeah.
do just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
you
awesome.
brought us some stuff to look at.
I did.
noticed over here you've
I
got a whole
did.
pile of
So
stuff.
I have we have a bunch of stuff to talk about today. So we just had an OESD Stitch Party event that was sponsored by Bernina, and it went extremely well. I just have a couple of samples of OESD stuff, which their things I think are so cool. So I think I make it no secret that I love Halloween. This was a haunted house that I actually stitched out last year. So look how cool this is. So this is applique work, but it's freestanding. So there's fabric and thread, and then you kind of just put the house together, and look how adorable this is. It also has lights, so you can illuminate it.
That's really cool.
And it
This
has
is my favorite part, though.
it has little accessories that go with it. So I stitched out this tree and this little fence. Like, how cool is this?
So it's like an adult play set.
I guess.
Right.
I guess if that's what you want to call it, sure. So my next attempt at freestanding lace are these cool pumpkin. I don't know, what do you call them?
Well, it's
they're
still
just
like
pumpkins.
freestanding
Yeah,
lace, right?
freestanding lace. But check out how cool the different ones are. So there's one that has bats all over it. One has a haunted house. One has skulls. Everybody knows I love skulls. So I'm going to attempt to stitch these out. OESD makes it really easy because look at this stabilizer pack. It's called the Freestanding Lace Stabilizer Pack. So it gives you all the tools that you need, all the stabilizer, the wash away, and so on. And in this pack, it also gives you a couple of designs.
Now, this was a limited edition, this package. So
It is,
we don't
yeah.
have that many left.
We don't have that many left, but we do have them now, so come get yours. And it just makes it super easy.
And it's at a great price if
It
you buy
is
the
at a
kit.
great price, yep. So if I can manage these, and I'm pretty sure I can, I
Absolutely.
might actually do a class on this freestanding lace pumpkin Halloween. I don't know what to call them. I guess just pumpkins.
Halloween pumpkins.
Whatever. So where are my Halloween junkies? Let me know who would come to this class and stitch these out with me. These are super fun, and they make really cool gifts. So let me know if you want me to throw this into a class.
And we've actually got a ton of samples of the freestanding projects from OESD here at the store.
Yes.
So if you want to see a bunch of them, we have a wide variety of them, both sewn already, so you can see what the final product looks like, and for purchase.
Yeah.
So, if you have an embroidery machine, you've never done freestanding lace, it's easy.
It's
it's
so
fun.
fun. It really is, yeah.
So I
awesome.
brought a couple things along for us to show this morning too.
Awesome.
So this weekend, like Kathi said, we had the OESD Stitch Party, which was the building blocks pillow. which, by the way, we had, so it was our first in-person event. Over 4 days. We had 4 individual classes with 6 people each. So we had 24 people come through the class this past weekend. And it was a rousing success. We had a lot of fun. We got our projects done every day.
Every day.
Actually, early.
Early, every day, everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah, it was great.
So the
Do we
Bernina,
have that sample around anywhere?
the pillow somewhere. We're going to try to find the sample right now. Of course, we use Bernina 790s, 790 pluses.
790 plus, yep, and they
Which
worked flawlessly, right?
flawlessly.
It was
just
amazing.
perfect.
Yeah.
So, but we did learn a couple of new things. So we learned that there's a hoop called the MIDI hoop, which we had never used before, and I actually have one here. Could you hold that?
Of course.
I'm just going to open this up. So I wanted to show this hoop. If you own a Bernina, you need to have this hoop.
Absolutely.
This is called the MIDI hoop, and I think it's 6 by 10 or something like that. But the point of this hoop, which is so cool, is that you just squeeze these 2 little levers and the hoop pops out. And then you put the center part back in and you turn this dial. So instead of having to crank that little screw and hook the lever in, this made hooping and unhooping so
easy.
so
yeah,
simple.
especially if you're starting to get arthritis in your hands and so on. Some people, who have problematic hands, they found this hoop so much easier to use.
So we sell a lot of embroidery machines, different brands and that kind of thing. But I got to tell you, this was the easiest hooping and unhooping we've ever had here at Above and Beyond. So if you don't have a MIDI hoop and you have a Bernina, come and get your MIDI hoop. If you don't have a Bernina,
come and get your Bernina.
Come and get your Bernina
and your MIDI hoop.
Because it's really fantastic. As a matter of fact, what do we have left from the show?
We only have 1 machine left.
We have one.
We have one left. So if you would like it, come get it because it's awesome.
It's at a special price because it's an open box machine because we used it for the class. We opened them brand new for the class, so they're new essentially. But if you come today or tomorrow and you want it, we'll give you a great deal on it, and it's in perfect brand new condition, and you'll get a couple of extra accessories
goodies,
with it.
yeah, lots of extra goodies actually.
One other thing I'd like to show is the Bernina accessory case. Thank you, Kathy. This is the Bernina accessory case. This is kind of new-ish, but this is great because this holds all your feet and all your accessories in this nice padded case. So when you're going somewhere, you just pop these things out, and you've got places for all your feet. You can even put in your Bernina stitch regulator in here. You can put in your walking foot, even though the Bernina 790 comes with an awesome integrated dual feed system.
Yeah.
So you don't need to necessarily have a walking foot, but this is cool because this is where you can put all your accessories. So that travel case is available right now here at Above and Beyond.
Great.
So since we talk a little bit about Bernina, how about we bring in our special guest?
Absolutely.
So you want to introduce
Absolutely.
her?
So we have Therese Canfield with us today from Bernina. Therese, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I really
Absolutely.
appreciate
She
it.
came all the way from Connecticut to join us today, so that was really nice.
Yes.
She beat the
Awesome.
morning rush because she was here before, well, almost at the same time I was this morning.
Okay.
So yeah, pretty cool.
Great.
So I'm going to introduce you to the public here. Therese is the representative from Bernina. She's our rep, and she gets us everything we need when we place an order. And we actually met years ago.
Yeah, it was MQX East at the show in Manchester, New Hampshire, and we were there obviously with our sewing machines, and I came over and introduced myself and said, would you consider becoming a Bernina dealer? And you asked me to follow up, and hence.
And the
here
rest
we are.
is history.
It pretty much is. Yeah.
I was when Therese came over and said, "Would you be interested in becoming a Bernina dealer?" Obviously, I was excited because it's a great brand. It's got a great tradition, 150 years or
Well, it's over 125.
125 years.
Yes.
And so I was excited. So I got right on the phone with Ron, and I said, Therese is going to call you. Talk to her because we want to be a Bernina dealer.
Yeah, and then Ron invited me in, and we sat down and went through everything. And, you guys are doing a great job with the brand, and we couldn't be happier that you became Bernina dealers, honestly. So.
We love it. So thank you. So tell me, how did you get into the sewing business? What prompted you into the sewing business?
Well, it's let's see, where do I want to start? So I was before Bernina, I was working for a daycare company out of Novi, Michigan. I was the district manager for 12 daycares in Manhattan, Brooklyn, Westchester counties. And it was 2012, and my parents were, getting older, and I was actually thinking about moving back to the Midwest, because I'm originally from Chicago, and I've lived here since '94. And I was starting to look for a job just to see if I could get back, but companies don't really move you anymore, because with the internet, everyone can work from wherever. I saw this job because working a district manager in the Northeast for Bernina, working with the dealerships, and I have had franchising background and company-owned background with multi-unit management. And so I recognized the Bernina name. To this day, I don't know why. I knew it was the sewing machine company out of Switzerland. To this day, I can't recall, because I learned on a Singer and home ec just like everybody else. So I thought, well, I'll send them a resume and see what happens. So they called me up, and they said, okay, so you're doing this daycare thing. Why Bernina? And I said, well, I also have franchising background, and I have full P&L accountability with this company, and I just saw some synergy and some parallels between franchising and dealerships. It seemed very similar to me. And they said, we think so too.
Nice.
So they said, we'd like you to come in and interview, but we have Bernina University going on, which is our big national convention for our dealers, where we launch all the new products, and it's kind of the State of the Union and that type of thing. So they said, well, we have Bernina University going on. We'd like you to come to D.C. and interview with us before, we call it BU, starts. So on a Saturday morning, I flew out of LaGuardia and met with all of Bernina management. And because they were so pressed for time, I was interviewed with 2 people at a time.
Oh my God.
It was like 10 a.m. and then at noon, I barely knew my name at the end of this, they came in and they said, we're starting at 1. Thank you so much for coming. We'll be in touch. But it's BU, so it might be a little bit before we follow up with you.
Right. That usually takes like 3, 4, 5 days, right?
At least, yeah. So it was less than a week. They actually said it would be more than a week, but it was less than a week, which I thought was a good sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the director of HR called me up and said, we want you to come to Chicago, which is where Bernina of America is located. And I literally said, why? And she said, what do you mean, why? And I said, well, I met everybody. You know my whole story.
What else is there to do?
I said, what else can we talk about? She says, well, Therese, we thought you might have some questions about us.
Oh, good
Oh,
one.
that's a good, yeah, that's nice.
And it just stopped me. And I said, when you want me? And so I flew in, and it was a lot different. I got to go to headquarters and sat down. The president took me to lunch, and it was all about, we know a lot about you, but what would you like to know about us? And it was a whole afternoon, and they treated me like royalty, and hence I took the job September 17, 2012, and I'm still here. So
Nice.
So that's 9
it'll be
years.
9 years in September.
Very cool.
Great.
It just
Very
flew.
nice. All right, so now we know that you're from Chicago now with that, but tell us a little about yourself and your family and so on.
Well, I'm the oldest of 4. I grew up on the south side of Chicago, and I'm not a White Sox fan. I'm a Chicago Cubs fan. I just want to be clear about that.
Is there a thing with Southside or Cubs
Oh, there
fans?
sure is.
Normally, if
Yeah,
you live
yeah.
on the south side, you're a White Sox fan, but I'm a
Yep.
Cubs fan.
They're both like, kind of, you have a Chicago
So
background
I
too.
do have a Chicago
yeah,
background,
so
so yeah,
I'm the only local person
yep.
here.
So and I have 2 sisters-in-law from that area. One is a Sox fan, the other is a Cubs fan. So it's interesting when we all get together. Yeah.
So I actually grew up in the city of Chicago on the south side, West Pullman. And Pullman is very historical. It's where the Pullman workers for the train, a lot of them lived in that area. And then my parents moved to the southern suburbs of Chicago. And I went on to, I worked full-time right out of high school, but I did go to school part-time at Loyola University, and that's how I received my education. So
Loyola's is that a Catholic school?
yeah, it's a Jesuit.
Jesuit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Georgetown and
Yes,
Yeah.
downtown Chicago, and then the Lakeshore campus. So worked full-time and went to school part-time, which took a
Nice.
while.
Okay. And why don't you tell us a little bit of the direction of this? I can't read your
She
writing.
can't read my
Sorry.
handwriting.
can't
I
read
wrote
your
out some
handwriting.
questions that we
You
wanted
ask.
to ask Therese because you know what happens. We forget the
forget.
questions. So, and I just changed things up on Kathi
Yeah.
unannounced.
I'm like, what?
Because we went out of order. So, we wanted to know, and we had talked about what we wanted to ask you, what the important things are, because everybody always asks us, how's business? How many new people are sewing, that kind of thing. So we wanted to ask you what you think the general direction of sewing is going forward. Like, what kind of future is sewing?
I think it's very bright, actually. The pandemic, the virus actually kind of put sewing back on the map with all the mask making and the scrub caps and the making of gowns, and then quilting. People were home, right?
Yep.
And people invested in Bernina and brought in some really nice equipment. So also the repair business was off the charts. When everything happened, people brought out, grandma's sewing machine from the
Yeah.
attic and brought it in to make sure that it was in working order. And
We saw our fair share of that, I
Yeah.
promise
Yeah.
you.
yeah, so a lot of of the dealers obviously repaired the machines, but some couldn't be repaired. So people bought a lot of entry-level machines, and then people just decided to get into sewing. They were home and wanted to help with the mask making, and it caused a huge increase in our sales, and we couldn't be actually happier about it. And we think the trend will continue because people got reintroduced to it. We've even seen some of the schools bring some of the sewing programs back and invest in equipment. So overall, we think that the future is very bright. Plus, we're always adding to our product line. We also went into the long arm business, and there'll be some things at Bernina University, which I can't really talk about. Will be
Oh, come on.
announced.
Tell us something.
I can't. I know. Just,
So you know how that works with new announcements from companies. We have to wait for them to announce it nationwide. So we're not getting an exclusive from Therese, but maybe we can pry something. We're going to keep trying.
yeah, no, but we think it's really on the uptick, and I was so during the pandemic I did a lot of walking because there wasn't a whole lot we could do, and I was walking through the park in Greenwich, and a lady struck up a conversation. And her first question was, "Are you working? Can I ask you if you're working?" I said, "Yes, fortunately I am." And she said, "Can I ask you what you do for a living?" And I said, "I work for a sewing machine company out of Switzerland." And she said to me, "Aren't you lucky?"
There you go.
And it really stopped me. And I did one of these, and she said, "Well, it's all over the news." CNN did a piece on how sewing, has really come back. And it really made me kind of pause and realize how fortunate we are that we, in an industry that, has survived and is actually even, exceeding our expectations.
I agree. I mean, we really
Oh,
never
yeah.
took a day off.
No.
And we never closed. We closed physically,
but we were
always here
here.
and answering phones
Phones,
and that kind of
yep.
stuff. And business really never skipped a beat.
Yeah, I couldn't travel the way my territory is from, Bangor, Maine, and at the time it was all the way down to D.C. And me and my Subaru go everywhere, but I couldn't travel for a while. And the computer, the phone, talking to all the stores, it was nonstop. I mean, it was 8 to 10 hours a day just communicating with everybody because we were trying to get product in, right? Because no one saw this coming, and just making sure we were communicating and keeping everyone abreast of the product flow so that everyone knew what to expect as far as getting the machines in.
Now, you brought us some stuff here that I'm going to try to show. If I can get this to close. Let me close this. Oh, come on, computer. There we go. Okay, let me close this. Bear with us, folks. We're trying here. Are you techie?
No. Am I techie? Really? Did you just meet me yesterday?
Did I get the screen? Okay, good. I'm getting there. So, Therese brought us some cool pictures that I'm going to show you. If I can get this to open. Show all windows, is that it? Oh, look at this.
There
I
we
think
go.
I got it. Oh,
she is.
Yeah, but I can't get it to go full screen. Oh, I know why. I got to do this button. There we go. Okay, tell us about this. This looks crazy.
Yeah, well, and I'm in my Bernina shirt, as you can see. I still have that shirt. So I believe that was Bernina University in New Orleans.
Fun.
And we always, when we get the dealers together, always, annually in a very geographically desirable location normally. This was New Orleans, and I was walking through. This was the cocktail party, actually, and someone literally handed me the crocodile and said, "Here, smile." And I think it was the district manager who took that picture, and you can see on my face, like, am I really standing here with this very nice animal? So yeah, that was New Orleans.
Yeah, you're smiling, but you don't look all that pleased.
No, I don't.
You look a little bit frightened.
I almost didn't send that picture, actually, like, okay, is this thing going to do anything?
I think it's great.
No, it is great.
Thanks. So I mentioned that we're over 125 years old. So I think it was 2017 we turned 125. But we celebrated with the big Bernina.
That is a big Bernina.
Yeah, we moved that machine actually when Bernina University was in Chicago. That was it was down by Tribune Towers because we were celebrating our 125th. And people stopped and took pictures and just, making, putting more attention on Bernina and sewing. And that picture was taken at our corporate headquarters in Aurora, Illinois. We didn't know what to do with it at first. I don't know where it is now, but clearly it's rather large.
Yes, it is. That's a
Clearly.
very cool picture.
And that's Downers Grove, Illinois. That's my nephew, Jeremy. He just graduated. That was high school. He just graduated from Cornell just a few weeks ago.
Wow,
Iowa,
nice.
Iowa, in Mount Vernon, Iowa, not Cornell College.
Well, Cornell College is great,
Absolutely, absolutely. It was with his teaching degree. And
They're the Mighty Badgers, right?
I don't know.
I'm just
No, I know that's purple. They're purple. All their colors are purple. But he went on one interview and got a job teaching in Iowa.
Wow, that's great.
So yeah, he's going to have children kindergarten to 4th grade. So we're
Awesome.
Very nice.
thrilled.
Very
We're
nice.
thrilled.
Oh, look, there's another one of the machine.
Yeah, and that's the same blazer I have on today. That was
There you
totally
go.
by accident. But yeah, you can see the size of that Bernina.
Oh, my God.
That's our top of the line. That's the 880. I
Now
should have said that's the top of the line machine.
Does that come with the luggage?
If with that package, it did.
With that size?
No, not with that size.
Oh, okay.
You need like a small house to
Yeah,
put that
yeah.
in, right?
A big house.
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, we have another picture here.
Okay, so this is I mentioned I think I'm the oldest of 4, but yeah, those are my brothers. Mark is on the left. He's retired military. My brother Greg, that's his home actually. He's a special ed teacher, and then that's my dad and my mom, and then my youngest brother Michael is on the right. That was taken a few years ago.
Well,
Nice.
thank you so much for providing us with these pictures. It's great to learn about our reps and kind of
absolutely, yeah.
learn about their lives and stuff. I think that was the last picture. Oh, no, look, we have more. So tell us what this is.
That is the L890. That's the queen of the air thread sergers. That was launched last year, again during BU. It's the big sister to the L850. It's a cover, stitch, and overlock machine. We're very proud of it. Bernina isn't always first necessarily to the market with a new product, but when we do it right. And we're very proud of our air thread serger. So it's a cover, stitch, and overlock machine. Stitches about I think it's 1,350 stitches per minute, and just does all those finishing touches you wanna have. It's a great addition, obviously, to a sewing machine, and quilters can use it.
Absolutely, quilters can use it.
That's something that we really need to promote a little bit more.
Yeah.
Obviously, garment sewing, right, Kathy?
Yep.
And home deck. But quilters, in
Yes.
particular,
Yep.
if they work on this machine, they're going to see what some of the great features
And we
are.
have this machine here on display, so if you want to come in and take a look at it, we'd be happy to show it to you. Yeah, really
Yeah,
amazing.
Kathy, tell us what you use the serger
So
for with quilting.
I am a quilter. I'm not a garment maker. However, I'll tell my serger story quickly.
Yes.
I used to always be afraid of them because I didn't know what to use them for, and I was afraid to thread them. But now that I understand the machine and what it can do a little bit better, as a quilter, I actually do my binding on a serger, and it saves so much time, and it's so accurate, and it's just so much fun to do on a serger. So that's what I use
We
it
did
for.
these quilt bindings on the serger.
I did, yeah. It's really precise, and I can't stress enough how much of a time saver it is, because I used to sew them by hand on the back. Never again if I ever have to do that. So yeah, it's great.
Oh, and this is the sweet spot. This is the 770 QE. This is a great machine. It's a quilter's machine, 9mm machine. You can also add the embroidery module to this product. The 7 series was launched several years ago, and the wonderful thing about this is it has the Bernina hook, which allows for 70% more thread in the bobbin. And it has just been, and so we've had so much success with the 7 series. We now have the same hook system, so the same type of bobbin in the 5 and the 4 series as well. And it's just a really versatile machine. It's 10 inches from the right of the needle. It has great lighting. It has the touch screen. She has just been a wonderful addition to the product line. And then the big sister is the one you were using at your event, the 790, which automatically comes, also 9mm, but also automatically comes with the embroidery module. So we could not be happier with the 7 series.
And also, just want to mention quickly, the 7 series comes with the Bernina stitch regulator. That BSR is such a cool tool. So I did demonstrate that during our stitch party. It's, if you free motion quilt on your domestic machine, definitely want to check out the Bernina with that BSR. It regulates your stitches, and you can use it with a straight stitch or a zigzag. So if you're into thread painting and so on, it makes it so easy, and it is so fun. Yeah.
It really is. And if you haven't used a Bernina with the hook system that Therese was telling us about, we have all the models here on display. We have the 4 series, the 5 series, and the 7 series. They all use the same hook system, and the stitch precision on those machines can't be beat. It's just phenomenal. So if you haven't used one, and if you want to see the BSR, Kathy will be happy to show it to you, or I'll show it to you if Kathy's not here. You really have to come in and try it because it's amazing. And when you take that hook out of these Bernina machines and you feel the weight in your hand of a solid hunk of steel, it's really phenomenal. It's impressive on how awesome it is. So if you haven't tried one, come in. We'll be happy to show you how they work and give you a great deal on a Bernina.
Yes, absolutely. It's Swiss engineered. You know, we're still out of Switzerland. We're still family owned, and Bernina is really known for their stitch quality. And in particular the quilting machines. That's why we went ahead and developed a long arm.
Which we love here.
Yeah,
we
you
love
do,
that
and
machine,
I'm really
absolutely.
happy you love it. You've done a great job with that as well. But, you know, the Bernina loyalists came to us and said, you know, you really need to come up with a long arm. And the R&D, the research and development that went into that product was just incredible. We bought every long arm on the market. We shipped it to Switzerland. Then we engaged some, you know, long arm experts and said, okay, here's the competition. Tell us what you like and what you don't like. And we took all of their feedback, and hence we have the Q16, the Q20, and the Q24. And we couldn't be happier with the
And the
response.
Q-matic.
And the Q-matic for the automation. Yes. So
Which we use all the time here.
We
The
do.
Q-matic
So
is just
we have
phenomenal.
a couple of samples here of quilts that we've done on the long arm, and that Q-matic is so easy to use. Once you really understand all the buttons and the icons and what they mean, it's so
Absolutely,
easy.
it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And you have to keep in mind with the Bernina Q series, the Q16, the Q20, the Q24, it's a purpose-built machine. So it's not being used in another industry to do something else. It is a quilting machine. They didn't take a commercial sewing machine and adapt it for quilting. They built a machine just for quilters with the input of real quilters. So the machine is so simple to use because it's
incredible.
engineered by
Yeah.
quilters.
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's very intuitive.
Back to the 770, for your current 770 owners and future 770 owners, we are coming up with an enhancement to that.
News, news, news.
Yay!
Which-
we got a
which-
little dirt.
Which will be, well, I guess I can say it. It'll be, which will be announced to all the dealers during Bernina University in the middle of July. So stay tuned for that because we're really excited about what's coming. So
So I
Great.
guess the question I have to ask is current 770 owners, are current 770 owners going to be able to upgrade their machine?
absolutely,
I love it.
absolutely, they're going to be thrilled.
Oh, good.
So I
Can't wait
don't
for
want
that.
to give too much away because
Okay.
I'll probably get into trouble.
Oops, we don't want that.
The 770 owners will be thrilled, and anyone thinking about a 770, this is going to be a great time
Okay.
to purchase one.
Great. So, come on in.
We
Yeah.
ran way long
We did,
today,
but no, this
we
is a
wanna
great interview.
Thank you so
Therese,
much.
thank you so much for
Thank you.
coming. Yeah,
I really
joining us.
enjoyed it.
This
I had
is
a great
great.
time.
Good.
That's great. So, and we'll see you again. We'll invite you back when something new is out. We'd love to hear more.
And
Absolutely.
We're going to come up with something with the long arms, so stay tuned.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Yes, thank you. And we'll be back next week with
2 weeks in a row.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
So yeah, we'll be back next week with another
We have
interview,
another
and
guest next
we
week.
do have another
from-
guest
from,
next week.
From
Can we
someplace
say?
else.
Okay,
No, we can't
we
say.
can't say. We don't
let's
wanna say.
let's keep it Bernina this morning.
All right.
I'll post something tomorrow.
Okay, all good. All right, so we'll see you next Wednesday. 9:30.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks.